Okay, so last night was so good. It's crazy because when you have sometimes when it's just so horrible, then you have so much appreciation for improvement. So when we went to bed, because I had set up the couch and everything, I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna sleep out here. And she had taken a long nap in the middle of the day. She was conked out, and like she is now, and which she got on the couch. This is the first time she's gotten on the couch in days and days. So she was conked out, and I was like, oh man, she's gonna sleep too long, and then she's gonna be up all night again. Damn it! So I set up the couch and everything, and I was laying there, I was trying to go to sleep, and all of a sudden she got up and she went into the bedroom and got into her bed. And so I was like, oh, you want to sleep in the bedroom? Okay, because she would not the other night. That's what she just kept coming in there screaming at me. And, well, she wasn't just coming in there when she couldn't even walk around. But when it had very first started, then she did not want to be in the bedroom at all. So I was like, oh, hell yeah. So she went in there, went to sleep, and then it was around 2 or something. I heard her get up. And I was thinking about this in the middle of the night because when you're young, I think you're more equipped for being woke up constantly by a little baby, because I don't remember ever feeling so out of it when I would wake up as a little, when I had little babies. I may have. It just seems like, when your kids are really tiny, it's kind of like that whole year, the first year or two, depends on like how many kids you have, their ages and stuff like that. But it's kind of just like a blur of no sleep and, just stress. So when she wakes me up, I'm like, I don't know, I'm in another place and trying to pull back in and get this thing going. It's like, wait, what? So I'm like stumbling around, come out, and she's just laying out here. Well, she was standing out here. She wanted to go outside. I told her no. And so she got a drink, and then she laid down. And then everything is dramatic. It's not anything like that. It's all these grunts and groans and sighs and moans. But she got down, and then I gave her some medicine, which I wanted to talk about this medicine. And she went back to sleep. So I went back to sleep, and then I think it was like 4:45 or something. She woke up again, and I got up, and I was like, oh my God, I feel so much more rested. Feels so much better to just get. Even yesterday, when I got up and I was just so again, I didn't get up. I was freaking up all night. But I was just so out of it. And then when I lay down on the couch, when she went to sleep sometime in the day, I lay down on the couch and I conked out. I think for like 2 hours. I think it was like from noon to 2 or something. When I got up, I felt so rested. And I recorded sometime after that, but oh my God, I felt so much better. Just a little bit of sleep where your brain, nothing is going on. Our bodies need it. And so I went outside because I was, the night before I was just giving her everything under the kitchen sink. I mean, gave her so much of that CBD stuff. It was like, oh my gosh, I was giving her pharmaceuticals. I got those back out. And I think that is the sleeping thing, because the gabapentin makes her tired. So, but nothing would work. I gave her like 12 Benadryl, not all at the same time, six and then 6. But, usually that would just conk her out. But she was not, I couldn't believe everything I gave her. Nothing was working. So I was thinking about those weeds outside. So yesterday when I got up, when I started functioning, I was looking at the weeds, trying to see, is this what I have, this wild lettuce? And it is these giant weeds, the wild lettuce that I talked about, the little old lady who said, don't you tear down my weed. That's I don't remember what she called it, my pain medicine or something. And so I went out, I got them all. I was watching videos and trying to see how to do it and what to do. So then I started doing it, and I made a batch of this. It is called wild lettuce, and it is, it's a natural opiate. But the stuff that's in it, I can't remember the name of it. It's some sort of an enzyme or whatever. I don't want to say chemical, because chemical, you know what I mean? But it's some natural thing in the plant that helps us. So, and it's this white milky stuff. So anyways, I did them all and I made some, and I gave her some of that. And you know, I don't know right now. She still, like this morning at 2:30 when I got up, I gave her a little bit of the CBD and a little bit of that. She went back to sleep for a while. This morning when she got up, she ate, I fed her, and she hasn't had any medicine. Did I give her more medicine when she was going to eat? Oh yeah, I did. Okay, so I gave her some of that, both of them again. First, I gave her the one, because I'm going to keep trying to wean towards that one. Because when I was even making it, you know, I wasn't sure if I was doing it right or whatever, because something with the temperature and all that stuff. But while I was making it, I was putting the intention in there. I was like, this is going to help her. This is going to heal her. This is all this natural. You know, that's a kitchen witch right there. It's your intention, putting your intention in to what you're creating. So I made her that, and I haven't tried it yet because I have no pain. It's like weird. Like, what happened to that? Like, has it really been 6 weeks? Did I just have this horrible muscle spasm and then it just went away? I just got up one day, oh, it's all better. So I don't know. It's weird. Maybe it's really been 6 weeks though. How would we know? So anyways, when I do have some, I will try it. I have two little things of it. So, but I think she's going to probably go through it pretty fast until we get through this episode or whatever. But there was a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. Let me see if I can keep them all straight. One of the things, so remember how I'd said about the CIA had released all of their files on consciousness and what they were doing? So I was seeing this one lady, and she was she'd obviously read that stuff. And so she was trying to get awareness in people about consciousness and how it's being used against us. And so she had, in her investigation, had found out that in, let's see, because those dates are tagged. You know the date of when those things fell down and planes were hitting things and all that, that date, that is, that was a setup so that they could measure. They were measuring our emotions. They were measuring our collective energy, and they use it and they direct it how they want it. They're using us way beyond just our muscles and sweat and tears and stuff working. No, they're using our energy. And that is, you know, but you have all these people running around trying to be like, oh, you know, God and the devil. And I turned on this movie last night. I was totally scored yesterday. I kept telling them, I just want to veg. I just want something to just watch. Just lay here and just watch something and not just being programmed and indoctrinated and just grossed out the whole damn time. So I turned on, I wasn't even looking for anything. I was just on YouTube, and I'll switch around because even these like, the waterfalls and all that, it's a lot of white noise. And when you switch it, it really is like, oh man, I didn't realize that was so noisy. That's the thing, how much noise we are always taking in. We're taking in a lot of noise all the time, and it's got so many people edgy. There's a reason why people feel anxious and depressed. And so, you know, depression is not dealing with your pain. It is not living in your truth, not being on the surface, not recognizing yourself. So you are holding in so much that it just brings you down. It just brings you down. Being unrecognized, unseen, unheard, and having demands made of you that you don't feel align with you. Like, just so much where we just sell ourselves short, and it brings us down. It gets us depressed. I lived a lot with depression, and it was always like, well, it's diagnosable depression is a genetic thing, and my grandma had horrible depression and died from it. So not killed herself, willed herself to die. There was nothing wrong with her. She just went into some sort of catatonic state and never came out of it. all, I guess, apparently about her depression. So anyways, but she talks to me all the time now. So she's good. um, oh, the other day, this is totally off, but just talking about, because they come in all the time. And the other day, I was doing something. I think I was doing bread. So I had my one grandma, not the nurse grandma. My mom's mom was the nurse who's raised 4 kids by herself because her husband was a womanizer and left her with 4 kids. He was such a dick. God, he was just, oh. And then the other one, she was married to my grandpa, who, that grandpa is the one who always is coming in for guidance and stuff. So anyways, I was in there doing her thing, and so she popped in, and she was all dressed like, you know, like not a gangster chick, not a flapper, but, you know, just like back in the day, you know, like, and she just had that like attitude too. Like she's just such a fun, loving person, you know. Even when the medium had talked, she kept saying about, I can't remember all the stuff, but that grandma, she kept saying, oh my gosh, I just love to go and watch her with with the grandkids, because, you know, things were just so different. People just don't realize how different things were before. And I don't know, there was just, I didn't get a lot of time spending with my grandma. And so anyways, I think when I was living in Spokane and I was with them all the time, you know, she would come and hang out with us. You know, she liked that. But anyways, it was just fun to just see that energy was just so, not full of herself, but just so full of herself. You know, it was really cool. And, but anyways, so this thing that they measured our emotions and they directed them. I don't even know how to explain this stuff. I mean, they say it in that CIA stuff about consciousness, what they've been doing and the testing and stuff. It's all real. They all know how powerful we are and that we are creating the world that we live in. Only they're directing us what they want it to be, and it's always against us. So we have to awaken and see our own power and start directing it towards us in a positive way. You know, and that's what we're doing here now, I think, is this acknowledgement, this awareness of our own gifts, our own power, so that we can direct it to help us best. That's why when you're setting out your intentions and, you know, manifesting your life, directing it how you want it to be, that is you directing your consciousness. And it all has to do, you can't make yourself have a good life if you feel like shit about yourself. It just doesn't work that way. You are going to go through that life to teach you how to care about yourself. And everything is this process. Like this place where we're at, this earth school, is all teaching us these things. Like this is an actual place to learn. And so anyways, they were talking about, there was some more stuff too, but all of everything, how they use the TV, everything is all to program and direct us, how they're trying to use our energy to create this hell that they appreciate, you know, that they are living off of, and they think they're outsmarting us. Well, they have been, because we didn't really know the game, because we were never taught from the very beginning. So it's all been lies. And oh my gosh, now my one daughter, now that she is seeing, oh my gosh, it's so funny. It is so exciting. I swear to God. And when I know she is, then I know all of them. Like last night, I went to bed totally peaceful. My kids are totally waking up. I was so scared before, like they're not going to wake up. They're not going to realize. They got to see. And now, and especially the go-getter, yeah, for her, now, you know, she's actively understanding, she's actively seeing the truth. So, you know, it's really exciting. And so many of these people, The whole thing, all the outrage, all the, hey, you can't tell me what to do, is all the awakening. It's all just making a little pinhole in there and start questioning things, you know. I think I have a hole in my shirt. Yeah. It's a really old shirt. I got my PJs on still. But it's comfortable. But there was some other stuff. I mean, think of what all the things were. You know, oh my gosh, I can't believe how many people on TikTok are just, you know, they're really putting it out there about their depression and how hard it is. You know, people are really putting it out there. Mental health is becoming a thing because we are making it a thing. We're talking about how we feel, our mental health. It's helping other people. People are unifying, coming together and trying to heal and, you know, become better for themselves, you know. And it's really cool to see all of this going on, you know. First it kind of seemed like it was just a lot of kind of stuck like victimization, but I think it's really shifted and really shifting into a mental health awareness and what brings us down, how to bring us up, what to, you know what I mean? I think that the shift, everything is going to be shifting, you know, it's all a part of the whole thing. And I saw, let me think what it was. I saw, just a second. It's like I have two things trying to interfere with what I saw. Well, let me go back. There's too many things I can't see. What I was going to say was, let's see, the people who, with the mental health, so TikTok and was it YouTube? No, I was sure it wasn't. It could have been. I don't know. It could have been. Now I can't remember. I know for sure TikTok, but I thought it was a different thing. But anyways, they have until the 9th of July. Let's see, because it's a takeover, right? So they have until the 9th of July. Apple and Google have to remove TikTok and some other. It could be this one, but they have to remove them because they're like outlawing them here because too much information is being shared and it's waking up too many people. And there is a shift from that superficial, shallow shit into really deep stuff. People are really sharing so much deep stuff, and it isn't even just that. It's like a wave of knowledge, just a huge wave of, you know, who I am and what I do. And, you know, it helps us all expand because, you know, they were training us off of this big screen, showing us like how we needed to behave, you know, using these puppets to mimic like what they wanted, you know, because it was all scripted. It was all to direct us. And it's all been to keep us down and keep us low and never be able to live our best lives. And so they're coming in hard on this one. But, I mean, anything can happen because the collider is going to fire up and it is going to, something's going to happen. You know, I mean, the last time, I guess, when they did, which I don't know for sure the facts, like if it was truly the last time or whatever, but what I keep hearing is the last time they did it was 2012, and that's what started all the Mandela effects, where they just turned us into this dark reality. So they started doing that, and then they turned everything into this present dark reality, and they want to keep it going. They want to keep us in the dark. But it's impossible because this is a cosmic event. I mean, this is written in the stars. There's nothing that they can do. You can't stop what's coming because it is fate and destiny. You can't even stop a train when it's coming towards you, you know. Most people, the train is going to still hit them because it can't stop that fast. You know, it's movement. It's a movement, and that's what's happening here. They can't stop it. Right now, it's kind of like they keep getting in the way and getting knocked down. But, oh, and I can't even believe how many arrests I keep hearing about. So many. Like, I think that this is the closest we've ever been. Like, I want to say, like, this weekend, oh, maybe this will be it. And another thing, too, today's Thursday. So there's an old, what was that show called? Old X-Files. Was it the old X-Files episode? It was something. I can't remember. But I just saw it too. And whatever it was that the people were saying, it was exactly what is happening. And so it was the X-Files, yeah. Because they said that it would be on a Friday. The banks will go down and everything, you know, that's when shit would go. Well, tomorrow's Friday. And this weekend is the Colliders thing. So, you know, it really could be that we're that close, you know. And it's so crazy because we've been waiting so long, you know, like being on guard. Like, to me, it's like every day, the Viking self, you know, coming out to get my shield. Be prepared. I'm ready. And then every day it's like, oh, go put it down. Okay, go back to bed. You know what I mean? It just was like, it's drug on so long. And for it to finally be here, it's like, it's going to be kind of surreal. Like, oh my God, now what's going to happen? But no matter how this is going to go down, what all is going to happen, because the stuff with that other words you can't say about the thing in November that is being where the states are saying we can't say this person really won anymore, you know, because they're in trouble and people are being arrested. This whole is going to drive me crazy now that I saw it. People are going to be arrested, and people already are arrested. People are already being put to death. You know, I mean, we got serious stuff happening, and it's not, you know, being told to us. And, you know, so much of this stuff, what I kept saying about it just seems like they just want to keep us in fear. Like, just keep saying, oh, we're going to do this. Oh, we're going to do that. We're coming for you. We're coming for you. Just to keep us in fear. And we are creating what we fear. That's why we have to shift our consciousness into that state of creating what we want, creating our desires. Because they're constantly trying to get us to create our fear. And it is just the same as in those movies where, I just saw one yesterday too. I'll say that one too. The one movie that I had put on, let's see, because I was sitting there going like, oh, I just want to watch something. And I put on one movie and it was really good. What was it? I can't remember. I was on YouTube and I was switching and this movie was there and I was like, let's see what this is. And so I watched it. What the hell was it? It's so weird when you just have things just like, it's just like Swiss cheese in my mind. It's hard to, but if it's important, they'll tell me. But the other one was called Season of the Witch. And it was a Nicolas Cage movie, which was funny because I didn't even know he was in this movie. Well, I mean, I don't know all his movies or whatever. There for a while, he did like 100 million. But so this movie, and it was kind of older because he was pretty young. He had like long hair. But I really, really liked the movie. And I was thinking, you know, my favorite movies of his are probably so different than other people's. Because mine would definitely be Valley Girl and Pig. And now this Season of the Witch. I liked his character in all of those movies. So, you know, I'm not into the action movies. And then he did so many other ones where it was just, I don't know. He did some weird movies. I saw him talking a couple weeks ago or something on some kind of interview. And I guess he went into some sort of money problems. So he just started doing every movie he could to get out of his financial situation. It's okay, honey. And, but he said, you know, no matter what the script was, I always tried to do my best. So, you know, I mean, but we all got to make money. You get yourself into problems, you got to do what you got to do, you know? I mean, people have to sell their bodies to get by. Like, a lot of dark shit has had to go on in this place to survive it. So, but there was another thing I wanted to say, because I think I'm going to have to go and help her. What was it? I'm going to try more of that medicine. Because I think all of the medicine, dogs metabolize really fast. Their metabolism must just be so fast. But she's also put on some chunk. She's getting chunky again. And that hurts her hips too. So I've got to get her thinner. It's so crazy. Like, they can't do running. And, you know, they can only do like 20 minutes of walking. But it can't be like running and stuff like that. But she's got to lose weight. And then when she gets in these kind of states where she doesn't get up and walk around very much because her legs hurt. So she lays around more. Hold on, let me just help her real quick. Hold on. You need down, honey. There we go. Do you need help? Are you stuck? You're doing it. Come on, you're doing it. You're doing so good. Come on. Ugh. There you go. There. There you go. Okay. You're doing good, sweet girl. There was something. Oh, crazy ass bun. There was something else, I swear, I wanted to. There's like a bunch of things. Sometimes but I will be, my company is not coming this weekend now. Somebody got sick, and so now I have to quarantine and all that stuff because of positive test. I don't know. I'm just so sick and tired of all of the lies, just the lies and the bullshit, you know? Like, I don't know. But there was, I wanted to say something about that other movie too. I know there was. But the Season of the Witch was really good because it was showing so much about the church and how much they battled. Like, they just battled and killed people and wiped people out. And I had said before, when my brother was doing our ancestry, that my, I don't know what you would call him, somebody in my lineage, way back on somebody's side, that he was one of those people, like really horrible. Like, he almost, what is that called when they evacuate a whole race of people? What is that called? Because they were doing that in Germany. So whatever that's called, they said that when I was reading the thing, and they said that he had done that in Ireland to the Catholics, and then went back to England because he worked, you know, because the church and the crown was all about control. And so he went back there, and I think he ended up being, I just know when he ended up being killed or died or however it went down, I can't remember now. But what I did remember was that they unburied him, took him out, and then I think it was yuck. I had a few where their graves were decimated and gross stuff, like hung them out, took their heads, put them on a post, weird shit like that. That was all real. That all was real stuff, supposedly, you know, in our lineage. But this movie showed that that's what they were doing. And so Nicolas Cage and his friend, the guy who used to play, he used to play a lion. There was a show a long time ago, and Beauty and the Beast. So he wasn't a lion, he was the beast. And he used to be in that show. I can't think of his name. But so they're friends, and they're just like, they're knights, and they're just kind of naughty, you know, going just sex and drinking and drugs and all that stuff back then even. And the church said, well, you come work for us and we'll take away your sins. You won't be in trouble with that stuff anymore. And so he was like, if you put 2 years in, you get these sins taken away. You put 5 years in, you get these sins taken away. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, this is the kind of stuff where I say people just believe the most ridiculous shit. And it's still going on. So they went and they worked, and then they saw that the battles were just murder. They were just going in and murdering, whole towns, whole communities, just killing them all in the name of God. And so he got burnt out. He was like, no, I'm not doing this. This isn't in God's name. I don't know who you're listening to, but we don't go around murdering women and kids like this. And so to go against the church and go against the crown, he had to go into hiding. And then there's the whole thing with the witches and stuff, and, the people that they were killing. You just didn't have any freedom. You couldn't do what you wanted to do. And you had all these suspicious people, like in your town, anything could go on. And if it didn't happen for you, then suddenly you were a witch and you were causing it for everyone. So during the plague, I guess they kept blaming it on women and killing them and saying they were witches, and they brought the curse of the plague and stuff. So, yeah. But the church and the crown has been doing this, since the beginning of time, I believe, using God as their excuse to kill people. And that is not, where in the world would anyone believe that that's what God wants? Why would you worship a God would want that? Like, that's where people have to start processing. That is the church. That is religion. That is what it is all about. It's not about somebody there for you. Even their whole concept of a savior is just to get you to be powerless. The whole thing is all about taking power away from you, keeping you small, keeping you controlled. But you and your soul has to be the one that says, no, I have more power. I have love for myself. Like, all of those things is the fight against the system, to your own sovereignty, to your own healing, to your own best you. So, anyways, when I had seen that, it was just like, oh my gosh, that is just, but I really did enjoy the movie. I did like it. It was just like, when I was watching him, I was telling my guys, oh, thank you. This is just what I wanted. I didn't feel like I was being programmed or indoctrinated. I love time period pieces. And in that one, Nicolas Cage was still, young, and he was, snappy. He was, funny, and, I don't know, he hadn't become hardened yet. I mean, he's still funny, but it just was different. I don't know. It was more fresh. It was just different. So anyways, he seemed so different than who he is now. But, that happens in life. You go through a lot of stuff, and it does changes us. And I'm seeing so many people who are just so beat down by it, and don't understand that the transformation. This is happening. It's occurring. So it's like a snake shedding its old skin. It's like an entirely new snake is going to come out of there. And that is what we have to be doing. We have to be shedding our old skin. That is the whole concept behind the baptism, releasing what was old. That was the other movie. Oh, yeah. So it was John Stamos, and this was an older Lifetime movie. And it was a crime one where this woman was killed and her husband. And then in the thing, then it showed that the husband had killed the wife, but someone else had killed the husband. So it was all of this crime. And the wife had an affair with John Stamos, who was a preacher. So it was good. I was really liking it too. I've seen it before, but it was still just like that kind of mindless, like you're not, it's just entertainment, just watching a story. You're not trying to fill my brain with bullshit. And I really like that, appreciate that. I turned on a Lifetime movie the other day. I couldn't even get through like 10 minutes of it. It was so bizarre. It was this girl who was going to a new school. And this one had, I think her name's Jenny Garth. So she's, Lifetime regular. And she was, she had moved, she was a teacher, and she had moved with her daughter, and they were in this new town. And as soon as the girl started school, this girl, who looked like a witch or something, was like, oh, I like her. And then her and the girl both liked the same guy, and they were all friends. They all were a cult. It was called the Zenith. But the whole premise behind the Zenith was that there was this awakening, and that there was these people who could see what was going on, but the other people couldn't see it. So they saw themselves as the gods, and they were the Zenith, and it was these kids. So they all thought that they were the awakened ones who could see things. I was like, this is so strange. But then they went in and started having these kids have a threesome. These are high school kids, and they're showing this whole thing. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, we did that last. No, they showed it. And I was like, oh my God, are you freaking kidding me? I mean, usually the old Lifetime movies, it was way more of, even if they showed any kind of sex scene, it was just, some sort of ridiculous kind of thing. It wasn't like when you watch some big box office movie and they're showing it, which, by the way, I guess Jurassic Park just came out too, another one that's got a lot of disclosure. But the woman who had gone with her family to see it was saying, oh my God, the whole thing was about DNA, messing with it, and the food source and everything that is happening, and the leading us towards the starvation. But see, that is even in our own minds. You can't sit here and think, I'm going to be starving, I'm going to be so hungry, I'm going to be so hungry, oh my God, what am I going to eat? Because that is going to be, I think that would get you to be like a Holocaust person, like they starved them and really got it in their mind that they weren't going to be able to eat. So they are always living in lack. And when you live, just every time, no matter what is going to go on with this food thing, even if you could just get one spoonful of peanut butter a day, just to have great gratitude for it, keep telling yourself, this is all I need. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. This is so delicious. Thank you. Those kind of messages, because that is where we turn that energy. We pull in that energy, and we're creating the world that we want, because we got to have that energy, and we're fighting against the energy that has already been created, this negative, toxic energy. That is this big switch around. That is the big bust through. And I'm still really curious about this firmament thing, and if it is really getting lower, if it is getting like more full, like what the hell is going on? It's so curious. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I know it can be scary, and we can figure we're going to probably be going through some stuff that is going to be scary, and there will be people who are going to be transitioning, and there's nothing that we're going to be able to do to stop that. We have to keep in our minds that we are where we're supposed to be at all times. You can't be where you're not supposed to be. Even if you try and go where you're not supposed to be, you'll break your ankle or something. It's just how it works. You will always be on your path. You can't get off of it. And it's all fate and destiny. So even if you're in there trying to force something to happen, you can't force anything to happen. The more we learn to relax into life and allow life to unfold and represent itself, and that we are just along for the ride. Like when you get on a roller coaster, you can't steer it. You can't make it go a certain direction. It's going to take you where it's going to take you. It's going to have ups and downs. It's going to have circles and bends, and it's going to be fun on the roller coaster, and I think when we get off the roller coaster of life, then we can look back and go, that was quite a ride. Let's do that again. So, it can feel so hard and so tedious. And especially, I think the biggest thing is because people don't understand why they're doing it. They don't understand the whole thing about energy, about consciousness, about fate, about destiny, about how everything works and why we're here. That is the awakening. That is when things will shift, when people really start understanding, oh, I have a purpose. Oh, I'm here to learn. Oh, I'm here to grow. Oh, so these obstacles are helping me to grow. It's going to really start sinking in, like what it's all about, what it's all for. And there is so much purpose in life. And I'm seeing so, oh my gosh, I've seen some of the coolest poems and stuff people have been writing about this, losing their rights and stuff. Like, it is really going deep in people. I've seen songs, I've seen poems, just all sorts of stuff. It's really getting people out of the surface and into the depth, into your soul, into your creativity, into who you are and expressing self. And, it will all simmer down and settle down. But a lot of people have to see who they're fighting, because right now they are very much think they're fighting everyone who's religious, and that's not who you're fighting. You're not fighting the religious people. Yeah, they may have a different view of you and they may be expressing their views, but everything is out of all of our controls. The overlords of this place are the ones in control. It's not us. The illusion is we need to fight each other. No, we just all have different opinions and it's being used against us. And, no matter what, when everybody shifts into that awakening, into their spiritual being self, then it will change their attitude. It will change their priorities. It will change how they look at things, because that's why we all look at things differently. And then for all of these people who are all, standing around waiting for Jesus to save them, they're going to have to see that this is me. He gave me a book to show me how to do it. He gave me some stories, and if I read them, it will help me be able to figure out how I can walk that path. Because why should he walk that path, go sit there, wait for you to fuck up, and then zoom down here to save you? No, that's not what it's about. He walked a path. He shared his stories. People who knew him shared the stories about him. And the stories are all to help people grow, even though they've, mass manipulated the book and turned it into a story to control people. But, the real thing, a guy came and he, was a prophet, and he understood things. He, if he could hear them talking, and it's kind of cool how this light's going right in, like when I'm talking about that. But so he could hear them, and so hearing them and sharing the information he hears is always going to be enlightening to people, because everybody's caught up in what's going on in the kitchen. So, and the people who knew him, who shared the stories and helped people to grow. And he tells you how. He tells you, go inside. He's talking in a different kind of language that has been translated and retranslated and manipulated, but he is telling you about everything about going inside and healing yourself. And that is the transformation. That is the baptism in Christ. It is the new you that comes out from the old you, the old pain you, that you can look at and go, oh my gosh, you're such a painful person. You carry so much pain and so much insecurity. And then you heal from that, and you become somebody who can appreciate that part of you. But you can also love the new you, where you love yourself and you feel good about yourself. You don't doubt your decisions. You don't doubt your own intuition and stuff. I had a guy the other day. He goes, oh, so you just go by what you think or no, what you feel? I was like, yeah. That's how it's supposed to work. You're not supposed to be listening and have someone tell you what to do. You're supposed to go by how you feel. But, you can't say that to people who aren't healed, because then you'd have people to think it's okay, well, I feel like I want that 10-year-old right there. I think I'm going to take them, So it is really, you got to have your moral compass on and understand, what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. And you can't go over another soul's rights. You can't go over another living being. And even if they come in a small little body, that's not the size of their soul. So, but we're all here to learn from each other, and we're leaving some really toxic, hard times, and we're moving into some really beautiful times. And so no matter what goes on this weekend, if this is our weekend of change, just no matter what, and I keep seeing, it's not just me saying it, so many people, stay home, stay home, stay home, stay home. If you can stay home, stay home. Don't be going places. Don't be, I think I'm going to go out to the movies with some friends. I'm going to go. Don't forget, they come in and shoot those places up too. They will. We're all in danger at this time. This is a pinnacle time in human history. And it is, they don't want it to happen. And their arrogance gives them the idea that they can stop what's happening, and they can't. So just like they can't get through the firmament, no matter how many times they keep going and trying to bust through, they're just spiritually inept. I mean, they're out there dancing around with horns on and about to start the collider up to crash the atoms, to create a dark hole, black hole to suck us all into their hellacious next reality. So anyways, just keep in mind, everything is happening for you. Everything is for your own personal growth. And each of us with our own personal growth is what's going to change the world, because we have to heal our wounds. We are the ones who carry the joy for what is to come. But we have to dig through the muck to get down to that joy. We have to go through all of the pain and suffering that we have had. We can't put on a happy smile and call ourselves happy. We can't just, it's something that has to come from within, is why we have to learn the lessons and why we don't have a savior that's coming, because it would really not help us grow at all for somebody to just come in and save us. Here, we're fucking up, come in and save us. No, it is, weird. There's something weird with this light. I'm telling you, there is weird shit in this world. This is a weird fucking world. That is so weird. Like, where'd it go? That is weird. It's just one little light. A little laser light. Huh. Anyways, seemed like there was some other stuff, but I've got all weekend now. But that one, that X-Files thing that could be giving us a disclosure, could be that the banks and all the power and stuff will go down. Like, the day before I did lose my internet, and that could have been when those CMEs were hitting by my house or something, because the internet wouldn't stay on for hours in the morning and kept going off. So any of that stuff can happen, and it's weird when it does, because we're so used to being able to use our phones to reach out anytime we want to, anywhere we are. I mean, you can call somebody from the damn toilet. So, when it goes down, it's like, it really is like a part of us. Like, we really have energetically connected with these things, and Facebook is really pushing. They do not want us on these other platforms. They want to move us as fast as they can into their creepy ass metaverse, because they want us to be sick and on drugs and eating chemically when I went up there the other day to the food bank, and I got a bunch of stuff, rice and beans. I just got a bunch of stuff because I was like, man, I really do want to have, somebody, especially like I'm around a lot of people who are not paying attention. So I just keep thinking, oh man, they could really need some food one day. So I should get some of this stuff and be like, well, I've got a bag of beans I can give you, and just kind of hand that kind of stuff out. A bag of beans, a bag of rice, a couple cans of vegetables or whatever. So I've been trying to get some of those so I can share, because I'm not a creepy weirdo. And so when I went up there, I got this other box of food. So when I was going out, this person was like, "Are you 60?" He was saying it to somebody else. And they were like, "Yeah," and they were getting their boxes of food. It was these big boxes. So they go all the way through the food bank, get all these bags of food, and then you get up there and you get 2 or 3 more big boxes of food. And so I was like, well, I should probably do that, because if we really are getting this close and I really am living around people who are really clueless, I really do need to have food to give to people. Because there actually could be a few weeks where there's a real food shortage. There's everything that is happening is to impact people. The absurdity, like I said, is meant to wake people up. Stepping on someone's rights is what gets people to wake up. But you have to be paying attention. But they got a lot of people's attention now, don't they? So that's a good sign. But all of these people who really have no clue, and I'm around so many. So I, in that bag, and so he was having me fill out all these papers, and he needed to see my license, my address, and all this stuff. And he's like, "Oh, this is a federal program. This is I don't care about it, but the federal government needs it." So this was government food, but it was the same kind of things, cans of food and stuff like that. But so they had this big bag of lettuce, big bag of spinach. And so that night I decided, well, I'm going to make a salad. So I made a yam and a salad, and I started eating it. And I don't think that lettuce was real. It was the weirdest. I couldn't eat it. It was weird. It didn't seem like real food. It looked like food, but it was weird. And then, and I got more sick after that too. So I only ate a few bites of it, and I was like, "Oh, hell no, this is weird," which I gave some to Stella, like salad. So I gave her some, and, that could be adding into her anti-inflammatory. So I think I'm going to throw the whole thing away, because it really, really was weird. And then I was like, oh my gosh, and that was government food. And now, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too much in my head anymore. I don't know. But I definitely don't trust these people. And I definitely know they've been messing with the food, and they are even going darker with the food. Now there's so much stuff, people sharing about this agenda of getting us to just live off grub worms and shit like that. Grub worms and food that's grown from someone's cells in a lab. And I don't even know what it is they want to, because when the people all are like, oh, all of these rich people are buying all of this farmland, they're going to be in charge of all of our food and stuff. I don't think it's about that. I kind of feel like it's about, and I think I've said this before, but I kind of feel, because they don't need to grow food. They make it in a lab. They fucking get bugs and shit. They don't give a fuck about what we eat. And go and watch some old movies. It's always been the same. They don't give a fuck. They'll sit and eat whatever they want, and we can sit there and eat mud. They don't care. And that's so funny too, because now my daughter's really like, they really don't care about us. I'm like, no, they don't. But that is a hard one to wrap your head around, especially because, when she starts getting that in her radar, she's going to start panicking. So, those med beds got to be just around the corner. And I've seen so many people talking about the Jubilee, the med beds and stuff like that. And, that should be like everything should happen really pretty quick with the money, the medical technology and stuff that's going to be released, especially because there's so many people who are sick. So I think everything will start falling into place really quick. And hopefully that is why she's awakened, because I was kind of nervous because she's such a hypochondriac. And I was like, oh my God, when she figures it out, she's going to be in a fucking panic. And I don't know if she already has and she's just not saying anything, because she did go in and get a bunch of tests, which included the VIH. And I think everything came back fine on her, that she didn't have any of that. But when she said that she was doing that, I just kind of was like, huh, I wonder if she's heard that. Because why is she doing that suddenly? Or is her doctor doing it? So I didn't question it because I don't. I just was like, oh my God. I mean, I've had conversation after conversation. Oh my God, I've got a freckle right here. Do you think it's cancer? No, I'm sure it's cancer. I've looked at it. I was like, oh. So hopefully that means that we're that close. That for her to be awake, that we're about to go into those med beds. That's what I'm hoping. But if there is the food thing, which, I don't know how everything is going to transition. I know we're transitioning away from corporate run food and eating fake plastic and chemicals, and we're going to go natural, and it's going to be a process. But I 100% think that they bought this land in places that show on the naval map because they want to sell it back they want to control where we live. That's what they're always doing. They want to control where we live. They want to, just like this fucking developer back here, out there, those two guys shaking their dicks at each other, that they think they're creating their world. Like, I come into my house and I create my space. And even on my page, like my TikTok page, I create my space. They're creating their space, but they're manipulating us to do it. I'm not manipulating anybody to create my space. They're manipulating us. And that's what has to stop. And everybody who's manipulating one another for greed, for money, for something that isn't even real. So it's just a lot of stuff that has to come to the surface, a lot of stuff people have to realize. And we have to just go through it so that we can have a healed society, so that we can live in a new world. Because nobody wants to live in this old one anymore, I'll tell you. It's horrible. So anyways, I'll probably be back for sure tomorrow, especially if we have power. Who knows? Maybe I'll come back later today. I feel like things are happening and I want to keep talking about them and stuff, so everybody either can prepare for if it's not happening there yet, it could, or if it is happening, that you realize, oh, this isn't just happening to me. I had so many people when I did a post about, does anyone else think that the earth is vibrating? And all these people were like, yeah, I thought it was just me. Yeah, I thought something was wrong. Yeah, I thought it was an earthquake. So many people. That's why we have to keep speaking out, because it gives other people who are sitting there all consumed by themselves, overwhelmed by what's going on, who think they're going crazy, and all these things are happening in our bodies. And so that is why we need to just keep talking about it, because that is what unifies us when we all understand we're having similar experiences. So anyways, we'll see how today goes, and this whole weekend, but as long as I can record, I will come in and say something and talk about what's happening around me. So everybody just be safe. Remember, stay home. Don't be going out I wouldn't be going out to any of those fireworks shows, nothing, because there's going to be some shit that's going to go down, and who knows which one. But we need to stop giving them the bait. We keep giving them the places for us to be like, here we are. It's like playing Russian roulette. People have to start seeing you're dancing with the devil. You don't let him know where you are. So anyways, that's just my opinion. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.